Today Baba tells us that Baba is the one who comes from the far away land, because Baba always says that when children come to meet Baba, they also sometimes come from foreign countries and other countries other than India also. And then even in India they travel a lot to reach Madhuban, Mount Abu, Baba's home. But who comes from the furthest land? Baba. Because Baba comes from the soul world, and that is the furthest, right? So Baba sometimes asks us, how many miles away is the soul world? You can't even calculate. And Baba comes from the faraway land to us children. And then Baba tells us that I come and give you the knowledge that makes you far-sighted. Yes. And you see that when you're far-sighted, you can see things which you can't see if you're short-sighted. Yes. And if you're far-sighted, you can see more, understand more, and do more. Yes, than when you're short-sighted. And Baba gives us, and there is this thing in the world that people say that if you want to earn a lot in the world, then you have to be a visionary, you have to be far-sighted. Yes, and there are many people who are trying to be far-sighted. Sometimes we use science also to become far-sighted. So you want to predict earthquakes and tsunamis and all of that. You want to be far-sighted, you want to look into the future. Or sometimes you want to, you want to have intuition, and you want to understand things which are not here right now, but they're going to happen in the future. And I remember there was this one thing that when I was a little child, then my father, my Lokik father, he always used to say that when he was young, he had a lot of business opportunities, and he let go of many of them because he did not know that those opportunities could make him earn so much in future. And then he always regretted it. And then he said, you need to be a visionary, or you need to be far-sighted. Sometimes you can't see, how a certain property or a business will behave in the future, and then you don't invest in it, and then later you repent. So Baba says that Baba makes us very far-sighted. And Baba says, what is the knowledge that makes us far-sighted? So Baba gives us the knowledge of the various castes that we were in. And you see, in Hinduism there is this picture of the Virat Roop. And in that Virat Roop, there are various castes shown. So, the deities are emerging from the mouth, and then from these places the warriors are emerging, Kshatriya, and then from the stomach there are the Vaishyas emerging, and from the legs there are the Shudras emerging. So this kind of a picture is there in the Virat Roop. And then Baba tells us that now you understand that I, the soul, was a deity in Satyug, and then a warrior in Treta Yuga, Kshatriya, and then I was a merchant or Vaishya in Dwapar Yuga, and then I was a Shudra in Kali Yuga, and then I am a Brahmin in this Sangam Yuga. So it's not like, so Baba tells us that the truth about these castes. So earlier, the caste was defined by the place, the work you did. Yes, so it was according to the profession you had. And then later it became about, the family you're born into. But then Baba says that caste is, human made. So people created these castes, that Brahmins are those who worship, and then Kshatriyas are those who fight, and all of that stuff. But Baba says, if you look at the whole world drama, then we souls pass through these 4 castes, or rather 5 castes. So we are deities in Satyug, warriors in Treta Yuga, merchants in Dwapar Yuga, and Shudras in Kali Yuga. And then I am a Brahmin in Sangam Yuga. Now Baba says that when I give you this knowledge, then you become very far-sighted. Yes. And you understand that. So let me ask you one question. So suppose there's a doctor and he has amnesia, and that doctor forgets he's a doctor, so memory loss. Then can he operate a patient? Yes, can he? No, because he has loss of memory. Now, suppose he gets his memory back, then he can, he is a doctor anyway, so he can just operate the patient. So, in the Shastras, they talk about Hanuman, the character of Hanuman, and they say that Hanuman had forgotten his powers. And then when he was reminded of his powers, he was of so much use to Ram, to God. And then you see, Baba is also reminding us that we have been in 84 births, and in all the 84 births, we have played different parts, different roles. And Baba describes today that you were great Shudras, great warriors, and great merchants. Okay. So in every caste that we were in, we were the greatest. Yes. So let's start from Satyug. So in Satyug, everyone was a deity, but I was a great deity. And then I ruled the deities also. And what was there in me that made me rule the deities also? So what was great in me is that I was the purest and the most full of love. And because of that, I could rule the world with love and purity, power of purity, power of love. And I'll give you one example, There's this one girl, and she was preparing for an exam, and then she got into one of the IITs. And then she was very happy that she got into the IIT. But then when she came back after some months, she was very sad and heartbroken. And then I asked her what happened. And then she said that, when you are with students who are mediocre, and then you are the one who excels, then you are excellent. But then when you are amongst everybody who has excelled, then you become very ordinary. Yes, so Baba says that, you know, you were amongst deities, and in Satyug, everybody is a deity. But then you are the best deity. You are the great one. And even amongst deities, deities also listen to you. So just think about that you are so full of purity, so full of love, so full of, spiritual power, that even the deities listen to you. And then when you think about it more and more, then you kind of unlock that state in you, that potential in you of being so pure, so powerful, and so full of, love. And just like, when a doctor loses his memory, he can't operate, but he gains his memory, can operate. So Baba says you can again, by reminding yourself that you were the greatest in that state, then you can do everything better than even the deities. You can unlock that potential which is the best in you, even amongst deities. And then Baba says, when you come to Treta Yuga, you are a warrior. So it's called the warrior, but then you are the great warrior. And at this time, you see, when you understand so Baba says that at this time we have to create sanskars which will help us in the next cycle, correct? So we will create sanskars, we will take them with us, and then the next cycle we will use those sanskars. So now, at this time, how do you use your deity sanskars? So when you think about your potential as a deity, then you create that capacity to be a giver to everyone at this time. Yes, and then you see everybody, so not everybody who comes to you or who is associated with you is negative, right? So some come with anger, some come with greed, some come with attachment, some come with ego, and then you can give to them. But just imagine you are with people who are all givers, all doing seva, all having a very disciplined lifestyle. Will you become insecure there? Or will you be a bigger giver there? So I'm just, so when you are at home and there are 4 people sleeping, then getting up at Amrit Vela and doing yoga feels like an achievement. But let's say you go to Mount Abu, you go to Baba's home, and then you see that you are getting up at 4, but there are other people getting up at 2 and 1 and going to Baba's Kamra and meditating. Then, then what do? Do you feel like, I'm not enough, or I am, where will I stand in this one amongst the deity souls? So those who are in the process of becoming a deity, they are doing too much, and then you feel that you are not making that much of effort. And I remember, when I came into Gyan, in the initial days, I felt that living with the worldly people, I had a lot of self-esteem. But when I came and lived with BKs, I had very low self-esteem. Because I felt that, everybody is doing more tapasya than me. And then you see, I had to remind myself that I am the number one. So if they are doing it, I can do it more than them. Okay? So Baba says that just remember that, even if somebody is very loving, very respectful, you can be even more respectful, more loveful than them. Yes, so you can be a giver to the givers also. Yes, You can be a server to the servers also. Can you be a server to the servers? Or can you be a giver to the givers, or you can only be a giver to the takers? Yes, so Baba says, think about your, when you think about these 5 Varnas or 5 castes that you have been in, you have to think about yourself as a great deity, great warrior, great merchant, great Shudra. So when you are, so when you were a deity, you were the best one. So today, amongst those who are becoming deities, you can still be the best one. And a deity is a giver, giver of good wishes, giver of respect, giver of love, giver of support and cooperation. So you can be a giver to everyone. And I'll tell you one episode. So sometimes Baba says, never miss a chance to be the Raja, to be the king. And I remember there was this one time when I confused Thursday with Wednesday, okay? And then Thursday there is Bhog, and then there was a little sister staying with me, and then I told her, did you give Bhog to those one who had come for the class? And then she said, no. So then I said, why do you always forget to give Bhog? And then it was Wednesday, and then she was not disturbed. She didn't say, why are you saying this, or this is wrong. So she just kept quiet, and then she said, Didi, today when you were looking at the refrigerator, there was some kheer in it. So you saw it, so you thought it is Thursday. But it is not Sadguruvar, it is Wednesday today. And then she just smiled and went away. And at that moment I felt, will she become the Raja or I become the Raja? So I have to think and speak next time. So you see, sometimes, when the people are senior to you, they are also making mistakes, right? But if you can just be in your swaman, in your self-respect, that I don't have to point out their mistakes, I have to just, take this opportunity and be the bigger person. And I have to not react, or I don't have to ask why and how can you make mistakes. But I have to be the bigger person and give them cooperation or, acceptance at that time. Then you become the Raja. And then I thought, I don't have to allow her to become the Raja. I have to become the Raja here. So I have to be very careful not to tell her anything before thinking, because she will accept it and then she will become the king here. So do you understand that this is the thing that you have to learn, that I am the deity amongst deities also. Then I am the warrior. So you see, when you are called the warrior, so you in Treta Yuga, the image of Sri Ram is shown as somebody who is carrying a bow and arrow. Yes, and why is the image of Sri Ram shown as somebody who is carrying the bow and arrow? Because those souls who do not win the battle with Maya, but who leave their body while battling with Maya, those will come in Treta Yuga. Those who become perfect, become full and leave the body, they will come in Satyuga. But those who keep battling with Maya, and in that state of battling they leave the body, they will come in Treta Yuga. So Baba says that is why Treta Yugi or silver aged souls are shown with a bow and arrow, and that is the sign of a warrior. So Baba says, I am a great warrior. Yes, so how do I become a great warrior? So where is the war with Maya? Here, right now, right? So Baba says, always remember that even in Treta Yuga, the image that is of the great warrior is yours, and you are the one who gives Maya a very good fight. Yes, so when you come to Satyug, so we will come in Satyug, but then we will also go to Treta Yuga, right? Because we have been warriors also, and Baba says at this time, remember that you are that great warrior who gives Maya a very good fight, and never allow Maya to win over you. And remember that, so are you afraid of war? Yes. So when there was this scenario of war at this time, India was almost on the verge of a war with Pakistan, and then there was this thing that I was thinking that the defense personnel and people who are making decisions, they were so calm about it. Yes, and they were talking so calmly about it, and so people who are on the war front are not afraid of war. Yes, they never say that I'm afraid of war and war shouldn't happen. They try to avoid war, but then if the war has to happen, it has to happen, and then they fight. Yes, so Baba says your war is not like that. We don't war with weapons because that's not our role. We Baba's children, we have a war with Maya. And Baba says, we are not afraid of Maya. Are you afraid of Maya? Do you tell Baba, don't send Maya? Or do you tell Baba, Baba, send as much Maya as you want? Or Baba doesn't send Maya. So do you challenge Maya that however much you come, I am not afraid? So just challenge Maya that, whatever you bring, it's okay. I will deal with it. And Baba says, you are a great warrior. Have that faith that any kind of storm, anything that happens, whether with regard to the body or relationships or situations or other issues or any obstacles that come in seva or in your spiritual effort, have this confidence that I am the great warrior in Treta Yuga. I will rule in Treta Yuga also. So I will give a very good fight to Maya and win it. Okay. So Baba says that remember that you are the great warrior. And then Baba says you are the great merchant. So when you come to the Dwapar Yuga, the Copper Age, then that is the age, that is the Vaishya Varna or the merchant stage. And Baba says, who are the highest in that merchant stage? So do you know that a deity soul becomes a great warrior in Treta Yuga, a great merchant in Dwapar Yuga. So even when everybody is in the Dwapar Yuga stage, you will be better than them. You will be better off than them. And Baba says, how will you be better off than them? Because at this time, you have the acumen to be the merchant and trade everything old that you have for everything new with Baba. And because you exchange, that's why you become a great merchant. And in Dwapar Yuga, you will get the benefit of being this good merchant with Baba. So Baba is called the Saudagar, the merchant or the businessman. And then Baba has come and Baba says, give everything that's old and take everything that's new. And if you are able to give everything that's old to Baba, surrender your body, mind, wealth, old sanskars, tendencies, everything to Baba, and then take everything from Baba, then Baba says you will get a good position in Satyug. Yes, in the Dwapar Yuga, in the merchant stage. Okay, so this is what Baba tells us. And will you be a great merchant? If you become a great merchant now, you will be a great merchant in Dwapar Yuga. And Baba says, remember that even in the copper age, so the copper age is the time for um, people doing hard work to earn money, because in Satyug and Treta Yuga, people don't have to work hard to get money. They just have everything. So Satyug and Treta Yuga is described as the age where you have everything even if you do nothing. Because that is like a gift you get because of what you do here in Sangam Yuga. And then from the Dwapar Yuga, you get as much as you do. So that's the time for bhakti and hard work. So one side people are building temples and people are doing bhakti, and the second side they are doing business and they are earning their money. Now Baba says, in business you will earn very well, and you will also be a very good bhagat, and you will donate to make temples and stuff because of the exchange that you do with Baba at this time. Because you make this beautiful transaction with Baba, giving the old and taking the new, so your luck, your fortune will favor you in Dwapar Yuga also. And you will be able to earn in Dwapar Yuga also less effort and more gain, and then you will also be able to donate and build temples at that time, because temples are built through donations, or temples are built by the rich in Dwapar Yuga. So you will become those rich kings, or you will become those rich people who will earn a lot and then also build temples. So Baba says this is the merchant stage, and then the Shudra stage. So you see at this time, so in the Shudra stage also, from in Kali Yuga, so we all came from Kali Yuga, right, into Sangam Yuga. And did you feel that even in Kali Yuga, you were not like other people? You were not ordinary. You had better buddhi, and you were more blessed than other ones. Have you felt that or no? Yes, you felt that you had a hand of blessing always in Kali Yuga also. Today try to make a note of how many times Baba helped you in Kali Yuga without you knowing that it's Baba helping you. So you didn't have the introduction of Baba, but there are many things that happened in your last birth also, in your Kali Yugi birth also, where you felt that, like a hand of God is helping you, and He is doing things for you, or He's intervening in your life in many ways. Have you felt that? Yes, so just make a note of it, and then you know that even at the end of Kali Yuga, you are, so we are Shudras at this time, but then I'm a great Shudra. So I'm a Brahmin right now, but then before being a Brahmin, I was a Shudra, and then I was a great Shudra. Which means that amongst the Shudras also I had great fortune. Yes, and the best thing was I had a buddhi which could still have the purity to recognize Baba, right? So I had a buddhi which could still have the capacity to recognize Baba when everybody is just, plunging in vices at this time. At this time also, we had this buddhi which made us attracted towards Baba and Gyan and other stuff. And also we felt that we were not spoilt that much by Maya. So somewhere we remained protected. And there was one Mata, and she once told me a very beautiful thing. She said, you know, Didi, I was on the verge of, I was in that point in my life when I could become an addict and alcoholic. I could become somebody who did a lot of wrong stuff. But I don't know what happened. I turned to Baba. And I sometimes feel that this is fortune, that you could do anything wrong, but then it's something about your destiny that helps you do the right thing. And Baba says that is what Baba means by saying that you are a great Shudra also. And what do you do at this time that you become a great Shudra? So when we come to Baba, we surrender our vices. We surrender ourselves at this time. And this is why, because we surrender our Shudrapana, so we surrender, although we are very attached to our vices, but we just give it to Baba. And at this time we choose Baba over vices. Yes, although the pull is very strong, it's not a small battle. The pull is very strong. Baba pulls us in one direction, vices also pull us in another direction. But then, despite that whole tussle, we end up surrendering to Baba and giving up our vices. And because of that, even at the end of Kali Yuga, Baba has more power over us than vices. And then again we are able to conquer our vices and belong to Baba. So this is why Baba says that at this time you must know that in all the ages you have received the benefits of this time, and you have been a great deity, great warrior, great merchant, great Shudra. And why you have been that? Because you have done the corresponding karma in Sangam Yuga. And when you remember that you have been this person in all the 4 yugas or 5 yugas, and Brahmin also, you are a great Brahmin. So every time you are the one who has taken the responsibility to be pure and take up Baba's task of making the world pure. So when you think about how great you have been in all the ages, then you will be able to emerge the corresponding greatness now and act accordingly. And Baba says, always keep this far-sightedness and behave in accordance with your part, your unlimited part in all the 5 yugas. So this is something that Baba tells us. And so do you believe that you have been a great deity, warrior, merchant, Shudra and Brahmin? If you are listening to the Murli today, it means that you are that one. Yes, because if you were not that one, you would miss the Murli today. And this is such a new thing that Baba says. I don't remember reading in the Murli that Baba used these words, great Shudra, great Brahmin, great merchant, great warrior. I have not heard this. I don't remember hearing in the Murli. And I am hearing it for the first time. So you are hearing it today, which means that you have been that person. And this is why Baba always says, you are the hero actor. And you do everything that Baba says right now. This is why in every yuga, you become the number one. So even if there is a downfall, everybody is in downfall, but then you are best amongst them also. So this is what Baba reminds us. And then Baba today says that you are with Baba whenever you remember Baba. So Baba says, I am an incorporeal being. You cannot be with me physically. And even when Baba was in the body of Brahma Baba, still you had to be with Baba by remembering him. Because even when Brahma Baba is sitting in front of children and Shiv Baba is sitting in the Brikuti, even then you have to hold that in awareness, right? If you don't remember that you're sitting before Shiv Baba, then you will not have the happiness of sitting before Shiv Baba. And you will not pay so much importance to the jewels of knowledge that Baba is giving. So Baba says, those who remember me, I am with them. And then when you are in remembrance of me, then for you it is raining knowledge, because you value the jewels of knowledge. When you remember that Baba is speaking the Murli, you value the jewels of knowledge, and then you hold that in your awareness. Okay, so Baba says, I am with the ones who remember me and who value my jewels of knowledge. Okay. Now there is one question. What if missed to concentrate this point in Murli but understanding from you? So that's also your destiny, right? You understood the point. So this is why that's your part. Yes, if you, and I will tell you one thing. When I came for the class, I had not decided to talk about this today. I had decided about 3 other points from the Murli in the last page. But then, I don't know, when I sat for the class, then I just thought that I want to talk about this. So obviously, it's our collective consciousness which is working, and it is all our destinies collectively which make us understand something. And for myself also, while I explain, Baba touches the buddhi and I also understand better. So that is also happening, okay. So we are all understanding because it is in our destiny. Okay, Om Shanti.